Hello everyone! So, today for Throwback Thursday, I am going to tell the story about my PB. And the reason why is, well, number one, it's just a crazy story. But the biggest reason why is because that is why I started making videos. The whole experience made me want to get an action camera and start recording my fishing, not necessarily to make videos, but really for myself, to document for myself, and then just kind of started making videos there afterwards just for somewhere to kind of put them, so to speak. Just kind of edit them together and put clips together and just started a YouTube channel for the heck of it and put them on there. And if people actually watched it, then cool, whatever. And really that's what I did for years. I mean, especially like the first couple years of making videos, I'd never posted regularly. Actually, really until now, I never posted regularly. I didn't really care to. It was like a video every month, 2 months, sometimes 3 or 4 months. Like it wasn't really anything. It was pretty much just for myself. And here is why. So, the story starts, number one, do not ask me the lake, because I will not tell you, which it wouldn't really matter if I did tell you, because the place is destroyed anyway. It's pretty much gone. It is actually gone. So it wouldn't really matter anyways, but I wouldn't tell you anyway. That's just how places get crushed with fishing pressure. And that's why I don't ever really say what lakes I'm fishing. If people recognize them and like, oh, it's that lake, I know that lake, whatever, so be it. But our places here in Colorado are so small that I mention it, and the next weekend it's just going to be packed and crazy and destroyed, and trying to save our fisheries as much as I can. So where does it really matter too much anyway? Just do what I do and find places on the internet and go check them out. Like, I never get places to fish from anyone. Sometimes people might comment or send me an email telling me to check out a place. I usually don't even check them out because I don't want to. I find it more interesting to find a new place or whatever, figure out a place and catch them that way, instead of someone telling you, oh, go here, to here, catch them here, on this, whatever. I don't like doing that. But anyway, so it was 2016, the fall of 2016, and this was a place that me and my buddy Terrence, who, those of you that saw my videos from years ago when I first started, he was in most of them for the first couple years because he was my fishing buddy and we always went all the time. Now the last couple years I haven't gone fishing with him. He doesn't really fish anymore. Totally cool, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so I was with him. This lake, it was decent size. It was pretty good size, but there was only like one way kind of around it. The other side was all fenced off with someone's property, or I think it was just state property, but closed off with no trespassing signs, whatever. That closed off the other section of it, so you could really only like go around one side, and it would take like 30 minutes, maybe even more, to get all the way around it. And so, but like, so I was on one side, Terrence was on the other side, pretty much, kind of off and around. We could see each other, but we were like small, whatever. It wasn't like we could really see each other. So it was at least like 30 minutes around, pretty much. And so we were fishing for a couple of hours, not getting a bite. This particular lake, we knew there were good ones in there. I actually broke my PB in the springtime at this very place, caught an 8-pounder. And during the summer, caught some 5s. Terrence caught a 5.5, which I think is still his PB. So we knew there were good ones in there, but it was also not the easiest place to fish. You might not get a bite, but sometimes you get one bite and it'd be a good one. Just kind of why we liked it. That and no one went there. So it was just nice and quiet. Wasn't the easiest place, but there was good ones in there. So like I said, we were fishing for a couple of hours, trying everything that had worked there before. Chatterbaits and worms, just like Senkos and things like that we usually would catch them on. Not getting bites, either of us. And I was kind of getting over it and was kind of thinking about leaving, but decided on my jig rod I would tie on a 0 gravity jig. I actually had got it in a Lucky tackle box like a week before this. I did say it was October, right? It was October 9th, I believe. And I had got it at the beginning of October in a Lucky tackle box. I used to get that for a couple years and then just stopped it. I've tried mystery tackle box. I don't do any of those anymore. I don't really like them, whatever. But it was pretty cool. A 0 gravity jig. If you don't know what it is, it's like super light and it's the slowest falling jig ever. It literally takes like 3 seconds or more, like 5 seconds, depending on the trailer, to fall like a foot. It takes a while. So, and I actually made a video of it like the first year I started making videos, like the following year after this happened, calling it the best jig ever, which it's not. I actually don't really use it anymore, but it can be good for certain situations, that slow fall. But anyway, I tied it onto my jig rod. It was like a 7'3" heavy at the time, straight like 50-pound braid on it, and just tied it on there just to try it out. I figured, what the heck, I got this, I just want to see what it does, whatever. Like I said, super light. So I tie it on. I think I set my reel up right, it's good. Go to make a cast. It goes about 15 feet out in the air and just whoosh, and falls. Just get nasty backlash with that braid in that reel, like the knot that's deep in your spool. That's a pain in the butt with braid to get out, But the luckiest thing about it was it fell, like I said, like 15 feet out. Which right there, which I knew from fishing this place before, that's actually where the drop is. It goes from like 2 or 3 feet on the bank, like about 15 feet out, and then it just like drops like a pretty good ledge right there that goes down to about, it went down to about like 10 feet. So, yeah, so I landed there. I'm trying to pick out that knot. It's super nasty, and I'm just trying to get it out. Finally, got that knot popped out of there. I'm pulling out all that braided line. That's all kind of kinked up and getting it all nice and start spooling it back in. And I get almost to where it's completely spooled back into the reel. And all of a sudden I look at my line and it's just moving that way. So I'm like, what the heck? So I just rear back and set the hook hard. And yeah, when it came up, it was crazy. I knew it was a good one. It didn't fight like crazy hard, to be honest. It was kind of funny. I always figured a fish this big would be like a crazy wild fight. I've actually had harder fights with like 6-7 pounders. But anyway, I get it in, and I remember holding it up and just screaming for Terrence, and he can't. Like I said, we can see each other, but it's not like you can't really see each other. So I'm holding it up, and he's just like, yeah. He couldn't necessarily tell how big it was. He knew it was a big one, but he couldn't really tell from that way. He's just, oh, nice, whatever. Could kind of hear him. And so I end up weighing it, 9.5, just under 9.5. It was 9.46, 9.5. So I was freaking out. Terrence is 30 minutes away. I have no way to preserve this fish. I'm fishing from the bank. You know, this was before I had a kayak or a boat, and just could only fish from the bank from this place anyway, but just fish from the bank. I had no way to preserve it. I didn't keep a stringer on me or anything to kind of string it up and let it in the water. Never carry a net bank fishing or anything. So I'm trying to take pictures of it myself. They all came out pretty crappy anyway. And what I ended up doing, because I don't have a tape measure or anything, I got the weight on the fish, but don't have a tape measure. So I ended up taking my extra spool of braided line in my backpack and measuring it with the braided line, width, length, and bundled up that braided line, put it in my pocket, and tried to get pictures of the fish. They all kind of looked like crap, which didn't really matter come shortly after anyway, which I'm still mad about, but anyway, released it, and that's it. Now, all those pictures, they suck. When you're trying to take a picture with yourself, like holding it up with a fish that size, it sucks. It doesn't come out right. You don't get the whole picture in the frame. I tried to take one of them laying in the dirt. Didn't really do much. It just sucked. So, come like a few months anyway, I ended up losing that phone and not backing up any of those photos, which I still don't do. I never like back up my photos to the cloud or anything. I didn't have an Instagram back then. Barely have one of those now. But I need to post more on there, and I will. But anyway, so ended up not having all the pictures anyway. Have the braided line, and that is about it. I have some pictures of smaller fish from that lake, and the colors, they all look pretty much the same. So what I'm going to eventually do, which I've been saying for a couple of years now, is get a mount made and just a replica and do that. I mean, that's the only thing I can do. But the reason for this story being so important is it is why I decided to buy a camera and start recording, was to document all this stuff for myself. It was very important for me after that, not having really crap proof of this thing and whatever just made me say I am going to start recording. And so I did. Started the channel right at the beginning of 2017, but like I said, I never posted really or anything, very rarely, and that was pretty much just because I was recording for myself and then just kind of making videos at the time just for something else to do, just edit them, put them out there, whatever. Didn't care if anyone watched them, whatever. But that is the reason why I started that, and now it's what I do all the time, and it's part of fishing. So, is to have the camera rolling. But I just thought it was a good story to tell, and also a very frustrating story to tell. I hate it, but at the same time I love it. I have the memory, and it's really cool. Terrence has the memory of seeing it and the pictures and everything, but still, yeah, it just kind of sucked. But it was awesome, good times, and I wish that place was still around, to be honest. But yeah, that's another sad thing. But anyway, that is the Throwback Thursday. Just a goofy but very important story. That is pitiful, but awesome. but there'll be more videos to come, and we gonna try to get some of them fish. And I'll see you guys on the next one.